and they stay full. They're one of the few sober living companies out here that do not charge a deposit, but I do. Hey, what's going on, guys? Thank you guys for joining in. Please, we're going live. We're on live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And I'm here to answer your guys' questions, whether it be sober living, group homes, veteran, foster care, business, real estate, entrepreneurship. I have experience with all of it, guys. Mindset, sobriety. So please ask your questions. Mr. Ortiz, what's going on, brother? How do I handle zoning and licensing for these homes when it comes to different areas? I wish it was a blanket regulation across the U.S., but every single city has different requirements. Arizona, Phoenix, Tempe, Mesa, all of these different areas all have different regulations. So when I go into a new market, a part of our market analysis is doing the research to see what regulations are for that city. And when you're looking up regulations, you want to look up city, state regulations for the type of housing that you're doing. And you also want to look up Department of Health to see what kind of requirements they have there. We do licensed and unlicensed homes. And with one of the things that we have, the documentation that we have, you don't necessarily need to get licensed, even if they say it's required. You might have to go fight in court, but um, you're going to win with the fair housing laws. But definitely do your research. If you're doing a licensed type of home, it's very important. I mean, if you want to be able to take insurance, if you want to be able to do a foster home, and some government programs require you to be licensed in order um, to get their assistance. So every single city and state is different. I would just Google regulations for veteran housing, regulations for sober living in Phoenix, or whatever the case is. So, what's going on, guys? Please ask questions. I'm here. We're filming some content. We're live. Oh, there we go. Do you look for furnished or unfurnished properties when arbitraging properties? Just asking because furnishing has been a high initial cost for us. So, best case scenario, they're already furnished, but I would love to find properties that are already furnished. Just like you said, it can get expensive. I've made a lot of relationships over the years to be able to get the best prices on the items that I purchase a lot when furnishing a home: your couches, your refrigerators, washers, dryers, dressers, beds. Um, I get wholesale prices on all of those. I can completely furnish with all brand new stuff from top to bottom. I can furnish a 5 bedroom house with $5,000. There has been some cases where I knew a few Airbnbs weren't doing very well, so I called a bunch of those and took them over completely furnished. Actually, my best sober living out here in Arizona, it stays full. Um, and it has a bunch of amenities. It has a pool table, it has a jacuzzi, it has a pool. It's on a golf course. Really nice house, best house. And I actually took that one over rental arbitrage. It was an Airbnb, completely furnished, already came with everything. And then from my mentor, who I got that from, the investor, Mr. Zach is on there. I was just talking about you, Zach. So that house that I was just talking about, the Airbnb, the gentleman that's on here, Mr. Zach Ventures, I actually bought the property from him. And it is by far my best. Yep, 46 Grover's, baby. It is by far my best performing property. How are you, Zach? Been busy, man. We need to connect. My long-term strategy with the group homes. So for those of you that don't know, one of my companies is going nationwide. Yes, I am the sober investor, but we specialize in all things unlicensed, licensed type of specialized housing, affordable housing, and shared housing. And one of my companies is nationwide, and our goal is uh, in less than 5 years to be a Fortune 500 company. And the goal is to teach people how to invest with a purpose. Instead of just investing in real estate, doing long term rentals, why not invest in real estate, create a company that helps people? And I want more people to know about this, learn about this, and help more people. And obviously, you're going to be making more money than you would on a regular long term rental. But the goal is to have group homes in all 50 states, partnering with thousands of people and having our own properties as well, becoming a household global name. And we're going to be setting up websites, apps, and systems, CMR systems to streamline the process of getting a group home up and going, finding a home, finding operators, finding landlords. We're going to streamline that whole process and become a global, massive company that helps millions of people every year. All right, y'all, if you're on here, please ask questions. Mr. Ortiz, we got, do you use local or national insurance companies? We have issue finding local providers for GL and umbrella, general liability and umbrella coverage. That's so funny. My team in Texas we're calling companies right now. So, the company that does my payroll and my medical insurance is called Trigon. Amazing. This woman I'm about to tell you about, she is by far my favorite person. That she's just always a positive attitude. She's just on top of things. And so Trigon is our payroll medical insurance company, but then her sister, who's in the same building, owns a company called Contractors Insurance. And it took her a while to find somebody that was willing to insure us, but our house is in Texas. This company will do Texas as well. And my business partners that I was talking to this morning, we're looking for liability insurance for our houses in Texas right now. Kinsale Corporation will insure you, and then also Warren Buffett's insurance company, the Berkshire. They will insure you, but I wouldn't tell them that you're doing a sober living, that you have all of these ex addicts and all of that stuff. Because what I've been told, I am paying out my ass. I pay anywhere from $150 to $250 per property, per month for my insurance. So what was suggested to me for Texas and what other individuals do is that they go look for insurance for boarding homes. Just tell them that you do affordable housing in a boarding home where individuals share rooms or rent out the rooms. And I'm pretty sure your insurance will be a lot less than what I'm paying currently. I actually texted the company I'm using is North. I can't without looking at my phone. So, all right, guys, we're filming content. If you have questions, please ask them. Entrepreneurship, sober living, group homes. Let's do it.
What is your measurement for success in your group home investment? How do you know that you're on the right track or not on the right track?
How do you measure your success in one of your group homes? There's a few of them. Measure the success. Obviously, people coming into your home, filling up your home is going to be success. Obviously, you need some income coming in to be able to secure that location so you can keep going and keep helping people. So you can measure your success based on individuals' experience at their home, what they're saying about your home, what you're saying about your program. Are they going to their case managers or their social workers and letting them know that you have a great house, or what are they saying about you? How many are how many people are we helping? Are we actually helping people? Are you just putting somebody in a home and just it's just a roof over their head, or are you actually caring about that individual, trying to help them get to their next step in their journey, helping them get their driver's license or social security card or whatever the case is? Are you actually helping the individuals in your house? Are they actually succeeding? Are they actually progressing inside of your home? Um, but yeah, that's a few ways to look to see if your home's being successful. Um,
Uh, how do you go about developing, or I guess, not developing a business plan with get the income and expenses? How are you going about doing that? Is that
what is how did I develop my business plan, and what is my thought process behind that? My business plan from one of my mentors or previous partnerships, they had a template of a business plan that was okay, but for those of you that are familiar with AI and Chat GPT, bro, ChatGPT can whip up a freaking amazing business plan for you in less than 5 minutes. So don't kill yourself trying to create a crazy from scratch business plan, guys. There's enough stuff out there for you guys to kind of look at and switch to what your needs are. But yeah, so definitely, if you guys need a template to a business plan, I can send you one. Um, it's not one I created; it's one that somebody gave me, but um, it doesn't have to be crazy, guys. One of the questions on here: did you ever find a software operator for your? Am I what? I don't even know what that word is, man. For your streamlingaling. I believe I have a good contact for you already. Has applications in the sober boarding home space. I'd love to connect. I'm not sure what you're asking there, Kev. Did I find a software operator for? I don't know what that is. Software operator. I feel like there was some talk to text going on there. Anybody have questions? Please elaborate, Kev.
so let's talk about risks. What are the risks, the bigger risks? I mean, we already talked about like, you know, dying in your house or something like that. But what are some other risks that people might not have thought about when it comes to income?
Guys, the risks. What risk are there when you're talking about group homes? There's so many unknown variations out there, guys, and there could be a lot of risk. And your homes, if you just plan on opening a home and just putting people in there and just kind of letting them do their thing, and you are not really involved, um, you're going to have uh, you're going to have some trouble on your hands because these guys need structure. They need guidance. They need somebody telling them what to do. And some of the risks, I mean, some of the stuff that has happened inside my homes. Again, I've been doing in this business for 10 years. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. Again, I've had somebody overdose and die in one of my homes. When we were, some of our mommy and me or my daddy and me or our family homes, we ran into situations where like a 11-year-old kid and a 9-year-old kid, there was like some incest stuff going on, or the older one was trying to get the one that wasn't related to him. So kids trying to do adult things. Um, I don't know if I should say this or not. Was it like 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago? We had a guy, two guys in a room, and I get a phone call of us needing to assist somebody out of the house. And what happened was this guy had PTSD, and he jumped out of his bed out of nowhere at 2 o'clock in the morning, went over to the other guy's bed and flipped him. The guy was dead asleep, and the guy just picked up his bed and flipped him. And I was like, what? Are you kidding me? Like, what? So, um, when you're in the group home space, guys, obviously these individuals, there's stuff going on. They are unable to secure housing on their own. They've been homeless, or they're dealing with some type of situation. So obviously there's some challenges of dealing with life on life's terms. And so them coming into your house, that stuff is not solved. So you have people that are schizophrenia, PTSD, depression, and those are some serious medical issues that you need to know how to react to, how to guide, and how to maneuver. But there's just so many risks. Some of our houses, we have co-ed houses and fraternizing, sexual attention inside of the houses. We just need to make sure to stay on top of that. But horse playing, elbow through some drywall. People, one thing that people don't think about, we have digital locks on all of our houses. When somebody gets kicked out or a certain situation happens, we change the codes immediately. But that doesn't mean that that individual might not try to come back. If he did relapse or got kicked out and is feeling hostile or feeling some type of way, that individual probably knows when everybody goes to work in the house, when the manager's there, when they're not there, what door might be open, or this, that, or the other. And they can try to come back and while people are not there, and steal some stuff. So make sure your houses are locked down. Medication. If you have individuals that are coming into your house on medication, it is very, very, very important that you are logging. In some cases, you can't administer their medication, but you can oversee them taking their medication. But you want to have a med log. If somebody is on a narcotic, they might be on Xanax, they might be on Adderall, they might be on whatever, Suboxone or methadone, whatever the case is. You want to keep a log of their medication, and you want them to count them in front of you. So if they have a supply of 30 days for Suboxone, and freaking and half the week is gone, or they're sometimes these individuals, they won't take their Suboxone for 5 days just so they can take all of it at once and get really fucked up. So you have to stay on top of them taking their medication. And then on the flip side of that, individuals might not like the effects that the medication gives them, but it is very crucial for them not to act out and go crazy. So we've had several times, several situations where somebody's just acting sporadic or acting out of place, and they weren't taking their medication as prescribed. So a lot of different situations, a lot of different demographics. A lot of these individuals come from dicey backgrounds and have lived on the street, or have sold drugs or done drugs. So that lifestyle doesn't go away. The people they know doesn't go away. So making sure you have structure, systems, and processes in place to know how to deal with some of these things, and getting their background before you let them in your house. Uh,
How do you guys handle that? So let's say that somebody, like two people are in a house, they fall in love, and like don't love each other. Do you move them to a co-ed house, or do you like?
we move them, yeah, because our co-ed houses, we allow couples, so obviously there's some shebanging going on there. Um, but it's more like unwanted comments, unwanted fraternization.
So sex is allowed?
No, Well, no, no sex in the champagne room unless it's a couple's house. Fun fact, uh, fun interest. My wife and I, we actually met in rehab, and we're still together, which is unheard of. But lived at a sober living where my mom was actually the on-site manager of that location, and I couldn't live there because I was related to her, so I stayed in a different sober living. But it was a constant game of hurry up, run, go, here, all right, go, trying to get it in at the group home and not get caught was a fun game that everybody plays. So um,
So you're allowed to have guests in your group home
uh,
typically, or no?
they have to be approved, yes. In the sober living, if somebody comes over, we have a sign in sign out sheet, and people tend to come over, but no overnight guests, no. Oh,
Well,
there's one more. Hold on. Ortiz, do you find including faith or a faith based program a positive inclusion, or does it not really increase the effectiveness of the program? So, I don't, you could say. So, AA, the program itself, the AA Big Book and the 12 steps is nothing but, I mean, they don't like to say, but it's nothing but finding God, finding a higher power, learning how to pray, believing in somebody greater than yourself. And when I came into AA, I was agnostic and had no belief. But now I do. I pray every day, and but there is faith-based programs, but AA in itself is God. It's finding a higher power, finding somebody greater than yourself. Um, but forcing like religion type of faith or anything like that, I do not. Um, I still haven't been since I've been sober. I've been sober 10 years. I haven't been to church. I've been to funerals in a church, but I have my own beliefs and my own thing and the way I handle things. So I don't force religion or anything like that on anybody.
do things like, like I know you have LGBTQ, do things like beliefs and values come into play when it comes to selecting homes and things within certain companies? Like if you try, like down the political beliefs, you probably don't go that far in terms of like surveying them, but like if someone was a hardcore MAGA Trump supporter, and you know in this house this person is no opinion. You know, say, do you go do that? Do you go process when they come to screening people to make sure there's no conflict?
Not that deep. Um, on some of the group homes that we're doing, we're taking a deeper dive just because we're dealing with some veterans now. We're dealing with the chronically homeless more so, and just kind of looking. We run a background check on everybody, seeing what their history. What is it? Not medical history. Their felony history. What the fuck? Criminal record. There we go. See what kind of criminal record, see what kind of charges they have. Um, we try to stick ages with different. I mean, if they're an older, we try to stick uh, ages with. Yeah, group them together by age. Right, but as far as if it's a male looking for a male bed, my first question to them is, "What area are you looking for?" And then I go from there.
Going back to the research question, I recently posted a video for you about you're expanding nationwide now. How is the buy box? How's it played? It's still the same thing. You try to target like in the area of AAs or is it like a different method now?
So since I have went nationwide, is my buy box still the same? The parameters are still the same. for group homes, you want 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, and up all day is the perfect scenario, or multifamily properties. But obviously, in this world of fix and flips, buy and holds, and wholesaling and sub twos and all of that, you can only imagine you don't get too many 5 bedrooms in the zip code that you're looking for. So we're doing the rental arbitrage. But my team, we're trying to buy as much real estate across the nation as possible. We are doing a lot of rental arbitrage. That's just so we can expand and grow as fast as we would like to. But if there are deals that come through, please send them to us. We are actively looking at them. We bought 2 sub 2 properties last week in Houston, Texas. So we are actively buying. So it just depends on the deal, guys. The entry fee, how much work needs to be done to it, the area that it's in, how many bedrooms can a room be added, how many bathrooms does it have, the square footage, and then obviously the market. What does the market demand? Can the area support a group home? So what's going on, guys that are out there? We are live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Please ask your questions. Fine, include group homes, sober living homes, business, entrepreneurship. Ask away, guys. Even if it's something you already know, just freaking let's get some action going on here. Just ask random questions for me, please.
How are you going about helping professionals about like people with lawyers, accountants, real estate? Do you have like a pool of people that you're pulling from? Are you like whoever's interested? How are you collecting your team?
Collecting my team.
Like the
JVs, like the
no,
JV partnership.
like lawyers, accountants,
Oh, for my team. Oh, so what was the question? How am I?
how are you going about like finding
Oh, gotcha. I thought you were like, how am I marketing to like lawyers? How am I finding my uh corporate team for my companies, whether it be lawyers, CPAs, or development teams, and all of that stuff. I have a huge network of individuals. I'm in a lot of masterminds. I talk with a lot of high level people. So that is the benefits of going to these masterminds and networking with people. Your network is your net worth. A lot of times, if I need to hire somebody or a referral, I just reach out to my network of to people that are smarter than I am and higher level than I am. Or if it's state specific or anything like that, I just reach out to my network to see who knows what, who knows who, and then go from there. So, my lawyers, my CPAs, my development teams, my acquisitions, all of the above were referral sources from my network.
how are you going about working with the community from these different cities?
Working with the community, I mean, we're doing the community a service by providing more affordable housing. Our goal is to reduce affordable housing and the homelessness by 15% in the next 2 years. And us doing that is helping the community, but also we try to do as much community outreach as possible. We're reaching out to local nonprofits, working with them, volunteering with them, having our people that live within our houses volunteering with them, doing local resource events. Um, we I'm the president and founder of a nonprofit, so we have a food pantry. It's called Soul Revival, by the way. Soul Revival Inc. It is the end of the year, y'all. If you need to donate some money, please, 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 we could really use the support right now. We are doing a blanket drive, a sock drive, and we're trying to expand the nonprofit to help even more people. So if you or somebody you know, let me know. But I am the president and founder of a nonprofit, so we're able to help with our food pantry. We can help with food, hygiene stuff, just a bunch. Just trying to get a good wrap out there for group homes and sober livings. a part of my onboarding packet, the very last sheet is a feedback a feedback sheet just to see what they thought. What could I do better? Did you hate us? Did you love us? What is it? Um, we're in the process of trying to streamline, make everything electronic, but right now that document is a part of their onboarding process to get the feedback from each of them.
Um, how or do you have a contingency plan in case occupancy rates get lower?
Contingency plan. So, me, I'm a firm believer that if there's a will, there's a way. If somebody else was able to do it, I will be able to do it. There's no doubt in my mind. And that's with everything that I do. I'm not reinventing the wheel. If his dumbass figured it out, my dumbass can figure it out. So I don't really have a contingency plan if the sober livings don't work out. I am diversifying because Arizona's kind of dicey right now. So that's why I am going nationwide, diversifying and going into other states that are less lenient, less red tape, um, less headache. So, my contingency plan right now is to diversify, keep creating companies that help people. And right now, things are slow, but I do believe that things will start picking up here soon.
Using this topic, turnover rates. You're in a market that, that's like the business model. Is there a
I,
mindset around that where you try to minimize turnover rates, or do you have, or is your goal just to get as many people before as possible?
no, I want them to stay. I want individuals to stay as long as possible. Again, I don't want to be their forever home. I want to be their just a foot in their step in their journey. But I just had somebody celebrate 3 years with me. Um, but no, I want individuals to stay. I hate the turnover. I hate the constant doing this and doing that and all the new stuff. If everybody would just stay put and stop with the turnover, and I would love that. With all of the crazy again going on in Arizona, um, my numbers this year compared to last year are night and day. Um, Last year I was at 90% occupancy rate for the year. Um, and people were paying. This whole insurance thing wasn't out there, but right now, with the illegal stuff going on and people using insurance to pay for the housing, which is illegal, it's hard to compete with that. 80% of the phone calls that I get are people asking me if I accept their insurance. For regular sober living, we are strictly cash pay. So we do not. So as soon as I say no, they hang up. And promise to pay is people promising to pay you. They have no job, no skills. I like to give those guys an opportunity because somebody gave me that same opportunity. Last year, about 70% of people actually paid me back. This year, I'm less than 5% on people actually paying me. I've lost over close to $300,000 this year on people skipping out on paying me, which is unheard of. Crazy, crazy, crazy number. So I forget. What's that? No. Right now, with the thing that we're doing nationwide, the majority of the homes we've secured government funding of some sort. So it's guaranteed money instead of, oh no, maybe money. So we have a veterans home, we have a general population home, but they're either on disability or SSI, or they can apply or have been approved for some type of housing voucher. So, but no, even in Arizona, right this second, I stopped taking promise to pay right now.
No, specifically this.
As of 2 weeks ago, no promise to pay is just because none of them are paying. Um, and it cost me $580 if regardless if a body is in that bed or not in that bed. And when they are in that bed, that number goes up. So I'm losing money giving somebody a free bed. So no more promise to pays.
And that's a permanent decision, or if things level out, or maybe like offer a house that's
Just a house. I'll offer one house for the promise to pays, but not at all my locations. What is happening is these promise to pay guys come in and they owe, let's say they owe $300 and they've been with me for 6 months and they still haven't caught up. Everybody in the house talks, well, like, yeah, I owe $300 and they haven't kicked me out. I've been here for 6 months. Well, then that guy is going to be like, well, I now know I can owe $300 and not get kicked out, so I'll just stay around there. So um, it creates a toxic environment and it doesn't put the right foot forward. Um, so it's just again looking at the market, seeing things shift, and then being able to adjust to what the market is demanding. So, um, uh, oh shit, I've been waiting, and I guess I have to swipe up. My bad, y'all. How do we JV with you on expanding our house? Is that an option you do? We do have a JV agreement. If you reach out to me, private message me, I can send you the template of the JV agreement. We can get on a phone call and I can let you know what that looks like. What's going on, Scott? Scott, see ya. Let's see. Come on, it's not swiping now. Thanks for the info, man. Wishing you all the success. It's a Golden Girl. Is it smart to buy a duplex in Texas, living in one side and using the other side as a sober living so that you can be the on site house manager? What are the state laws, rules, and requirements for sober living? So I'll go with your first question. Is it smart to buy a duplex in Texas, living in one side? In the real estate world, we call this house hacking. And house hacking is just what you're saying is buying a property. You can buy up to a 4 unit with a regular loan, and you can live in one of the other units, rent out the other ones, or create a sober living or something along those lines. And you pretty much live there rent free when you do this because they're pretty much paying for your mortgage or whatnot. In a duplex, you can live in one side but I don't know how many bedrooms that is in this duplex. Are they 1 room, 2 room, whatever the case is? Creating a group home, and depending on what city or state that you're in, you said Texas. Texas, you're good there. Texas is amazing, but for some of the city or state vouchers and government programs, they want the entire home, meaning the best case scenario, a 1 bedroom or a studio would be perfect for one individual. But my model, I want to do as much shared housing as possible. So the duplex, I don't know how many bedrooms it is, but in a group home setting, you're going to, most cases, if you can do shared, in most cases, you're going to make more money than a regular rental. So it would definitely be beneficial. What are the state laws, rules, and regulations for a sober living home in Houston, Texas? I have a property in California and it doesn't need to be certified or anything. So it is fairly easy to start up. So that one went a couple different places there. Um, rules and requirements for a sober living in Houston, I would just, I'm not trying to be an asshole. This is just what I would do. I would just Google requirements and rules and regulations for a sober living in Houston, Texas, and it should pop right up for you. And then you go up to, I have a property in California and it doesn't need to be certified or anything. So it's fairly easy to start up. Depending on where it's at in California, I don't know what or who's told you that it doesn't need to be certified. I would like to know more information on that. So, are you in? I have a property in California. Do you live in California or do you live in Texas? And what part of California? That's what I was referring to, making your onboarding and other processes digital. I can help with that if needed. Absolutely. We were just talking about that today. If you own a sober living, do you recommend starting a nonprofit as well for donations? Um, I'm not a CPA or a lawyer. When you incorporate a nonprofit, you just have to be careful on the way things move. If you have a for-profit company and a nonprofit company, and your nonprofit is receiving all of this money and it's paying your for-profit company, that gets kind of dicey. Or if you are the one funding your nonprofit, you're the only one donating to the nonprofit to make sure it's going, that money going to one of your companies or that money getting paid to you as a salary or anything like that. It looks like you're washing your money. So you have to be careful with that. So I have a for-profit company, which is my sober living company. My housing, group homes, none of that is nonprofit. I created the nonprofit just to help even more people, but it can help in situations because we get furniture donated to us all the time. We get clothes, food, you name it. We get a lot of it, and we have a lot of partnerships with a lot of other nonprofits. Whatever you can do to benefit the individual living in your home is always a positive. The more resources that you can give them, whether it be bus passes, tools, money, whatever the case is, any kind of connection that you can make that will benefit the individual in your home is always something you should go for. All right. If you own a sober living, do you recommend starting an, oh, I just kind of answered that. How do you start a veteran home? Being a veteran myself, I'd like to do that as well. Um, uh, Again, it depends on the area for the veteran homes. Some cities and states, I've heard it could take up to 2 years to get a license to be able to take veterans. So depends on city and state. Every single city, state is different. Scott Garcia. All right. Ask questions, guys. Sorry, I wasn't getting them for some reason. Yeah, we're actually talking with a politician in Texas currently that is we have a relationship with, and we expressed to him some of our concerns and some of the things that we are seeing, and we are lobbying and we are trying to get some things changed in the group home world. But um, going into a new market, guys, some of your best resources to reach out to is government officials. So definitely reach out to the .govs. How do I handle conflicts or disputes? So we have depending on what type of dispute we're talking here, like what, is there a fight? We don't accept any, there's no tolerance for physical. So if somebody put their hands on somebody, it's immediate discharge. And if they're being hostile, the house manager will call some supporting staff, me, somebody else, one of the other house managers. So he has another individual there with him. And then if the individual refuses to leave, we can call the cops, trespass them, and get them out of there. But you'd never want to kick somebody out, drug test, do something crazy when you are dealing with it could be a hostile situation. You don't want to be by yourself. So make sure you have somebody with you. Um, and yeah.
Um, how do you ensure that your group home adheres to ethical standards and respect the rights of the
All of our group homes, we're pretty much just with our systems and processes across the board, with our structure that we have in place and how we do things. All of the paperwork in place is to ensure that our systems and our processes are followed, because our systems and processes are tried and true and work really well. So don't break what is, don't mess with what's not broken, and just continue to do that. So right now, every single house that we get, we kind of approach it generally the same way, same safety features, same, pretty much the same everything. And we have step-by-step process that our team can look at. If it's brand new to them, if it's whatever, if you've done it 100 times, there's still a book you pull out page by page by page, and go over making sure that everything is done that is in the process. But we have our systems and processes down, so it's kind of just a cookie cutter same thing.
highlight the number one concern that people have with their homes, and that's the death in their house, whether it's overdose or something else. What are the concerns around that? In the sense that, like, someone's watching this video and they're like, I don't want anybody to die in my house. What does that mean for me if someone dies in the house? Will I get sued? Will I get a family coming at my door? You know what I'm saying, like, people probably are concerned about that. You maybe like expand upon that a little bit. Fine, or maybe just shoot it straight.
I'll shoot it straight. When the individual overdosed and died in one of my properties, I was scared shitless. I thought my life was over. I thought my company was over. I thought everything was done, and I was at a loss for words. I had no idea what I was going to do. I started calling around to the individuals I know that have been in the industry longer than I, that had a bunch of homes, and asked them if they had dealt with any situation like this. And some of them had, and pretty much what they said, like, bro, nothing so far, knock on wood, to the individuals that I talked to, nothing happened to them. To me, nothing happened to me. And pretty much what was told to me was, I didn't provide them drugs. I didn't force them to take the drugs. And just like in a regular home, if you had a long-term renter, they're probably doing drugs in your house and you have no idea because you're not in there every single day. But somebody can overdose and die in a regular long-term rental. Does the landlord get charged for that? Or so, that's what was told to me. I didn't give them the drugs. I didn't force them to take the drugs. It is not my fault that they overdosed. And they're in a program, or they're in a sober living, so they have a long history of substance abuse, detoxes, whatever, behavioral health. So there's a long track record of individuals that are dealing with that. The individual that, it's sad, but the individual that overdosed and died in one of my houses, it was like the 5th time he had overdosed. And when we called his emergency contact, which was his mom, she wasn't surprised. She was just talking so normal, and says, oh, yeah, when can I pick up his stuff? Thank you for calling me. And I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. But so far, yes, people can die in your home. I have not heard of any bad stories yet from that happening. And I mean, I don't like saying this, and there is landlord tenant laws as well, but my paperwork says I can kick them out if they look at me wrong, if they look at me and I don't like it. But technically landlord tenant laws, if the individual were to take you to court, they'd probably win. But the demographic that you guys are dealing with, these guys are homeless, they're on the streets, they're unable to do certain things, they might be government assistant or something along those lines. A lot of these individuals don't have the time or finances to take you to court to do those things. So
I have a comment on Facebook, and this is in regards to he said, I've seen guys use up the week or two, free week or two, then leave. They go to the next house and get their free week. Then they run out of places they will accept them not having money. That will accept them not having money. They will check into rehab and have a discharge point in through Bedford to find themselves living for a discharge. There's a strategy that some play will not follow.
well, that's exactly what everybody's doing. So there is not a national or local database that said, hey, this dickhead just left owing me $900. I can't blast that out to all of these other sober livings. And what happens when you take somebody on a promise to pay, even if they were able to get a job today or tomorrow, they might not get a paycheck for 3 weeks. So now they're 3 weeks behind on their rent, and my shit's $200 a week plus the deposit. So they're already $750 behind. So by the time they get that first paycheck, they're looking at this paycheck. All of it would have to go to their expenses to pay it back. Or they could say, there's another 10 sober livings in this area. I'm pretty sure now that I have money, one of them will take me. So that's what's happening. That whole game of get my first check and fuck the guy that was helping me to go to another one. So Danny Brown. There was a Danny Brown that used to work for me.
Over here on YouTube, Billy Burke asked,
Hey, we're supposed to get on a phone call, Mr. Burke.
what are your goals?
Over 1,000 doors by the end of next year, whether it's ours or we're JVing or we're with Mr. Burke and taking down 200 unit hotel conversions. And it's going to be amazing. One of my companies, I had 100 employees, over 60 homes, over 120 clients. This company that we are creating right this second is going to be 100 times bigger than that company is. Like I said, our goal is to be a Fortune 500 company in less than 5 years.
Danny Brown says his goal is 1,000.
Danny Brown. Is it the... I need... Danny Brown. Danny Brown. Was it the guy who used to rap? Wasn't he Danny Brown, the guy you knew?
Danny Brown, the rapper in Detroit?
No. Remember he worked for me and you guys knew each other? He was in our office right here and you guys were talking. You saying he was big back in the day. I think his name was Danny Brown. Whatever. We're on live. Let's not say anything. He's still big. You're still big if it is you, Danny.
Compliance, fire safety, health, and environmental regulations. How do you manage that? You know, guy that you call, or is it like you install on duty? Is it based on each house, or is it like a standard across the board?
Different cities and different states have different regulations, and that goes with the fire code as well. Out here, even out here, if you get over different cities, city of Phoenix, you could have 10 people in a sober living and be fine. But if you go to the city of Peoria, if you have 10 people, they want you to get a whole fire sprinkler system put in. And I mean, I have 2 houses that are 2 minutes away from each other. One's Peoria, one's Phoenix, and one wants fire sprinklers, and it's the exact same house, same layout, same fucking everything. We're supposed to get on a call. Hopefully you got some good information.
So one thing that from today that there's not like a universal database or like even like a group chat for all silver living. Is that something you thought about developing? Maybe some type of like universal sober living database that houses can register for, so they know that this person is doing bad business?
I've thought about it 100 times in the past 4 months just because of how many times I'm getting screwed. But um, uh, when you're dealing with substance abuse or dealing with sober livings, individuals that are dealing with substance abuse are considered disabled. And when you get a sober living licensed, it's a protected class. It's not public information on where that house is located. And you're not supposed to give that information because of the individuals living in that house. But obviously, you can go Google right now in Phoenix sober livings, and 1,000 of them are going to pop up. Um, so just being discreet and trying to do things the right way, whether it be HIPAA or anything like that. But there is so many of them out here. I don't even know how. I mean, we could start, but
I mean, so I guess with the HIPAA part, that's the conflict, because obviously you can't take Billy John and be like, Billy John didn't pay me $500.
if it's I was thinking if it's a private Facebook group, who's going to, well,
Well, I mean, that would go
still,
flat.
yeah, people might
But
still.
if it was like a next door app, right? Or you have it's based on community, it's so living community. But if you put someone's name on there or their picture, that was violate HIPAA, right?
I don't know if just posting their picture saying they owe money, I didn't give any of their medical, or I don't know.
That's a good thing to look into.
Have you had a chance to look at the facility in Southwest Missouri? Southwest Missouri. I am not. I'm drawing a blank on the facility in Southwest Missouri. Southwest Missouri. I apologize. I am drawing a blank on that one.
How do you address mental health needs?
Say that again.
How do you address
Uh, well, no, I mean, especially in the group home. I mean, one of our first steps, if these individuals don't have case managers or social workers, we have third party individuals that we use to get them services immediately, because a lot of the people that we're dealing with need something. So we have relationships with third party what is it, healthcare, third party healthcare, home healthcare companies that help provide that type
So
of need.
is that like a mental evaluation process that they have to pass or like get cleared on? I mean, a lot of mental health issues are underneath the surface, right? So obviously, like I could be fucking a psycho or schizophrenic, you wouldn't know until someone steals my toothpaste or something, right? So is there like an evaluation on that? I'm saying like what some kind of process to be like, this guy might be a little bit off. Let's try to get him in a program so you can get to the house, or is it just kind of like
So now that I'm nationwide, the group home is actually a little bit more difficult. So in the sober living world, we do a background check. We talk with the program, see where they're at. See where they're at. On the behavioral health side, like when you're accepting insurance and stuff like that, you have access to like their physician. You can get an ROI, which is a release of information, and you can kind of get their background and their medical history. You're able to look up their insurance if they had something really crazy like a schizo or SMI or something like that, or dual diagnosis. It would show on their insurance if they've been dual diagnosis or if they're registered like a SMI type thing. Now with the group homes, the process that we just implemented in Texas is a whole, because it's hard to ask all of that information, the medical background information. But now we have to have it just because of certain situations that we have run into.
so is that process?
It's bringing me back to, I mean, in the behavioral health world, when dealing with insurance, the intake assessment, biosocial, social, took about 2 hours. This, I created a survey that is drop down, electronic, and can be filled out a hell of a lot quicker than handwriting. But if these individuals don't have access to the internet, you're not sitting in front of them and they are just calling you, then you could probably just pull up the survey on your phone, answer the questions for them. But we've streamlined the intake process. Thank you, Texas. And it's a longer process now.
Do you measure resident satisfaction? I mean, I guess it's like I mean, you already kind of talked about that, the onboarding process, but is there like a, you guys are a hotel or a resort, right? So if someone's like, hey, I don't have this, are you like, oh shit, this person doesn't have this, let's get them that, or just like, hey.
So this situation, this sober living, group homes, all of this is a stepping stone. A lot of these individuals have done a lot of drugs or homeless, whatever situation they're coming from. So your whole job and goal for these individuals that come into your sober living or your group home is to teach them how to live life on life's terms. When they get up in the morning, hey, make your bed. Hey, when you're done eating in the kitchen, hey, you need to wash your dishes after this. Hey, you have daily chores that you have to do. Hey, by the way, you have to do 3 meetings today. Don't forget about those 3 meetings. You have to work a step. You have to get a sponsor. You have to have a job. You have to be, if you don't have a job, you're out of here by 8 o'clock. So you have all of this structure and all of these rules to get the individual up, motivated, going.
So I guess that kind of ties back into the mental health thing. Let's say a person is suffering from depression and doesn't want to get out of bed, and they're just like, oh, life sucks, I'm not gonna ever find a job, or I'm saying, do you provide motivation for these people?
So in that situation, I don't give a fuck if you're depressed or not. If you don't have a job, you're getting out of the house. I will say it in a nice way, try to give them motivation and all of that, but I'm not gonna use, oh, I don't feel good, I'm depressed, I'm not going out today. Like, no, you're required. You signed paperwork that you're going to be out of the house at 8 o'clock looking for a job if you don't have one. So I'm going to need you to do that. But no, we have a lot of resources and connections for these individuals as well. It's, we have a laundry list, 6 pages full of companies that hire felons. We have companies that will come and pick individuals up if they can do hard labor, landscaping companies, construction companies, all of these things. We'll help them build resumes. We'll help them do all of these things. But if they are depressed, the worst place for somebody who is depressed is you alone in your own head is the worst place for you to be. That's why I really like the community of sober living. All of these places want individual rooms. Where I've seen the most success is in the co-living, shared living space, because I call them a mini mastermind. It's 10 like-minded individuals that have been through similar situations, that are in similar areas in their life trying to get to that next step. So, did you know your camera on?
Billy Burke is back.
Billy Buck. Billy Buck.
Things that you do differently from other sober living. What are some ways you create culture in the household?
Culture in the household. How do you create culture? Get a vibe. It's again setting that upfront expectation. In each one of my houses, me personally, I have my core values. It spells out sober. And each one of my houses, I actually have my core values hanging up in each one of my houses. And I base everything that I do around my core values. When I hire a manager, they have to match my core values. They have to match what I'm trying to accomplish, and they need to have the right mindset in order to even work with us. So first and foremost, keeping your core values and your culture with your staff is first and foremost. And then hopefully with you picking the right staff, having these systems and processes in place, it builds that culture of excitement. I do extracurricular activities. Hey guys, we're doing bowling next month on this day. Whoever can make it, please come out. But please RSVP. So we take them out to do stuff like that. I have individuals that are trying to help them get the house managers themselves. They help them get jobs, help them with their goals, and make sure they're checking in on them as a part of their duty of staying there. So, and again, one bad egg can ruin an entire house, guys. So get rid of the cancer. Don't hold them just because they're paying rent, because it's not going to go well. Um,
He said, I worked on creating databases, but there are many challenges that they can attention to traffic. You need a universal account number. You need a universal account number system for all sober living that can identify that client based on the number. I live in 3 sober living businesses. The impact of it.
Oh, is it going to stop if I press on them?
But you can, I'm not sure.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to. It was killing me. Oh, he's right. Okay. The Danny Brown is. I was thinking about. So, can you read that last part again? He has what?
He wants to make it mandatory to see a therapist's office that might not have. He said he wants a universal account number system for all sober livings and can identify that client based on that number. He lives and breathes sober livings, and you can make that a call.
He lives in a sober living?
He works in sober living.
Yeah, let's get on a call. Please private message me. Mr. Sober Living. I seen somebody did the Sober Investor. Somebody else has the Sober Investor.
Cool. So, balance between providing high quality care and maintaining profitability. Is there a balance, or is this?
So my first and foremost is helping people. And that's the whole reason I got into this business. That is my whole goal. That is my every day I wake up, I ask God to show me how many people I can help today. So that's first and foremost. But in order for me to help even more people, I have to be profitable within these companies. So, there is a balance. We help as many people as the budget will allow us to do on the free side or whatever side you want to do that will allow us. But if individuals are not paying, that hinders me from being able to help even more people. So the balance is I'm not going to put more into your sobriety, or I'm not going to put more into the effort than you do. I'm going to match your effort. I'm going to meet you where you're at and give you just as much effort. So if you are not giving me any effort, I gave you an opportunity to come in my house. I gave you a roof, gave you a spot, gave you all of these resources. And if you choose to not utilize those or try to disrespect or not do anything, that's about as far as I go. In the beginning, of course, I was just like, oh, whatever, I'll help you. But now, if you're not going to utilize this opportunity to move forward in your life, somebody else could be using that bed. So I have no tolerance. I kick them out. So somebody who will use this as an opportunity can be in that position instead of you. So there is a balance between it. It's a little give and take, and reading the individual that you are dealing with to see if they're serious about their program. Are they actually taking actions? Are they following what you said and the resources that you gave them? So
How do you manage to protect personal property for long?
they sign a waiver. We have we're not responsible for their personal property, but it's a gamble because we don't let them lock their doors either. So they have their space. No other clients, if they're not assigned to that room, cannot go in that room. But for the most part, we do provide a lockbox where you can keep your personal items locked away. But for the most part, your stuff is it's out there. Stuff does come up missing, and um, so you just have to again have the structure in the house and no tolerance and clear guidelines.
Training policies and procedures for your staff. Are you trying to make them universal, or is it based off of location?
I'm trying to make all of my training that I created here in Arizona to be universal, to be able to use in all 50 states. So we are trying to streamline that process, digitize it, and make everything kind of blanket. It is to move and to expand as fast and as far as we would like to. We have to streamline things and blanket them. We cannot do not cookie cutter. We can't piece piece by piece our services to individuals liking, because then that's just going to take us forever. If you guys are out there, we're live on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Please ask your questions. Sober living, behavioral health, group homes, business, entrepreneurship, real estate. Please, please, please ask your questions, guys.
Do things like celebrate holidays, birthdays, like for the living?
We do. So we do celebrate holidays. Um, we try to stay up on birthdays. It's just hard to do. But for Thanksgiving, I bought everybody Thanksgiving dinner, or bought gift cards for all of the managers to come together with all the individuals in their house. They cooked Thanksgiving dinner together. Right now, we have Christmas trees up in all of our houses, and we have connections with other nonprofits that are doing amazing things for individuals that don't have funding for Christmas or Christmas presents, or are not getting anything. There's events of nonprofits that we are connected with that will help these individuals have a Christmas. So, yes, nothing like that.
Physical fitness and wellness activities. Is that something that is works when you see the requirements of clients, or is it back to the issue?
When we were doing the behavioral health thing, when these individuals are in our care, like an inpatient or outpatient level, and they have food stamps, no job, their only duty is to go to programming. Um, we would provide food for the houses. They would provide a shopping list and want ho hos and energy drinks and cakes and all of those things, but we would buy healthy stuff. And since they are on government funded assistance, they had food stamps so they could go buy their ho hos and energy drinks. In the behavioral health world, we do family cookings, we plan out meals, we plan out the meals for the week, and each day a person that's in that house is responsible for running the show and using other individuals in the house to help them cook their meals. With our group homes that we're doing in Texas, we're creating a bunch of different coaching programs. We have a couple of individuals already committed to doing mindset, doing financial literacy. We're creating a uh, foster care academy to help individuals inside of the foster care system, and then individuals that are aging out of foster care, we're coming up with a system. So we are incorporating a bunch of mindset, health, wellness programs within our homes. We I've done this. I have the programs, and I've been doing this within the behavioral health homes. Um, not We do it a little bit in the sober livings and group homes, but now we are, since we have individuals that are willing to donate their time and have these programs, then now we're going to be able to provide that to all of our homes, which I'm pretty excited about.
Gilbert, and ask, what's the most challenging part of starting up a new sober living as a new operator?
If you're a brand new operator with no experience, it's just the no experience, just learning as you go type of thing. So there's a lot of bumps in the roads if you're just doing things on your own. And in this industry, it's not like my real estate industry. Everybody is closed, closed vest. They all feel like they have the golden goose egg and they don't want to give you their secrets, or you might be taking their clients or some stupid stuff like that. So nobody was willing to give me any information in the beginning, very little. So I had to research, find stuff out on my own, trial, tribulation, hit a bunch of roadblocks. And so it's just that first initial learning curve of how to operate, what is expected, and to learn how to best run your sober living. The other hard part is going into a new market is just finding a steady flow of individuals that are coming into your houses. So um, that is making those relationships and standing out and being better than everybody else to be at the top of everybody's referral list.
How do you, how do you go about having people with like chronic medical outside of addiction? And like favorite medication, like you assist people getting them to the medication.
That's a part of like the intake process. On the sober living level, it's the lowest level. It's not high. It's not a lot of overseeing. So part of the intake process in my house is there's no. You cannot be on any. Well, narcotics for the most part. We do accept Suboxone because you have to per the state now. But the medication is, if you're sober living, you can't, kind of what I mentioned earlier. You want to keep that log. You want to make sure how many pills they have. That you want to make sure that they're taking it. To make sure they're not abusing it. And it stays in a lockbox. But it's their lockbox. They have a key to it. I also have an extra key if need be, but again, it's a big no-no to lock up somebody's medication, grab it, and hand it. That the level of housing is, because if it was a different level of housing, I have no license or anything like that, and I can do it all day.
So when it comes to that though, like, what are the limitations? Like if someone had like Taylor, obviously out of all three,
Yeah, you can't.
but like aspirin,
That's
I don't consider is it just narcotics or
just narcotics.
is it taking like
A big one there for a little bit, I don't know if it still is, was the what was the synthetic heroin that was being sold at Circle K's and smoke shops. Yeah. Uh the synthetic heroin.
what about like Adderall?
No.
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 So like even if it's prescribed to them,
Yeah, that's a mm-hmm.
drug tested for them.
Mm-hmm. It's a acetaminophen instead of amphetamine. I think. But no, in order to come to one of our houses, the first thing that we do is a drug test. And if you're dirty, I mean, we only accept you. If you have like weed in your system, if the lines are very faint, then we will test them again next week to make sure that the line keeps fading. If it's a really dark line, then we can send them to a third party like task to go, or whatever laboratory that does urinalysis, to see what their levels are and make sure that they're coming down in their levels.
So let's expand upon that a little bit. What are the typical how much do you set aside just for testing in terms of your budget?
For drug tests. Um, so each drug test is about $3 a drug test, and we buy. God, this last time there's 25. I think we bought 300. Um, Typically, a house goes through roughly 30 to 40 drug tests a month. A month. So about $100. 10 people. Yes. They're random. Sometimes you might skip a week just to throw them off of their toes or whatever. But um, I allocate $100 per house per month for drug test.
We've been going for an hour and 15 to get people questions here.
Anybody else, guys? We're about to close up shop. We got 6 people on here. Ask your questions, guys. What does that mean? I got a red. What does that mean? Somebody has requested to join me. Let's see. Oh, well. Keeps popping up. I keep accepting. He might be gone.
Difficult aspects like supply management, meal planning. How do you feel about that?
In my sober livings or group homes, we don't provide any meals or transportation. Um, Only if it's like a behavioral health home insurance thing where these individuals don't have anything and it's a part of the program to provide meals. But in the group home setting and sober living setting, for the most part, they're all on food stamps, so they can get their own food. But in situations where they don't can't apply or can't get on food stamps and they have no money, no food, then we use the food pantry. We will Uber, whatever it's called, Uber food or no, what's the grocery one? Instacart. Should know, it's at my house every damn day. Instacart it. In Texas, we just recently got an individual in one of our new houses and there was no food and they came straight off of the street. So we just Instacarted them some food. But for the most part, we're not doing the meals and all that unless it's required.
So, are there any rules to managing shared living space then? Like refrigerators, cabinets, things like that. It's like this is this person's cabinet,
Mm-hmm.
fuck with it, or you just make it.
So, per DES, to get food stamps, when you tell them that you're living in this type of housing or whatever, it might be a blanket question, but one of the questions it asks you, and you have to answer this way in order to get food stamps, they ask you, uh, will your food be stored separate from everybody else? Yes. Will you be preparing your food separate from everybody else? Yes. And if you answer no to either of those, you're not getting food stamps, y'all. Um, so, but the common areas, you treat the common areas. We have rules within the common areas. Be respectful, and your shit stays in your room. Nothing comes out. No loud. Guests have to be approved. But we don't let any. I'm sorry. So I didn't finish that. So in our houses, each cabinet is dedicated with a number. So there's numbers on the cabinets. Every single one of our rooms has room numbers and bed numbers. So they know which cabinet is theirs. And generally, me, when I have 10 people in a house, I usually get 3 refrigerators. So there's usually 3 refrigerators at a home. You're labeling all of your stuff and you have shelves that are dedicated to you. within these refrigerators. So all of their stuff is stored separately.
I don't think I've ever asked that. No. Um, what? Oh, I need to tell you this. How do you make sure that you can maintain that? When you have them stored, is there a standard for hygiene? Like, inside the pressure, recommend them for that?
Actually, in our rules, because it happens so often with these individuals that are homeless coming off of the street, again, you're not going to be able to change somebody who's been homeless for 5 years overnight. So we actually we're running into that situation right now in Texas. But we have rules that they have to keep up with their hygiene, that they have to bathe every single day. And if they don't, then again, that's a part of you correcting their fucked up way of thinking and trying to get them to be acclimated to the way life should work. Take care of yourself. These are steps. This is how normal people are supposed to do things. So it's helping them structure and rewire their brain to live life the right way. Yeah, all the time. It's yeah. I mean, I don't know if we've ever kicked somebody out. I mean, we had a talk and be like, bro, you gotta go. I can smell you from 3 rooms away, my guy. So somebody just said almost the same question. Do you supply toiletries and other home supplies? As far as hygiene, we don't provide any hygiene for these individuals. But again, I am the president and founder of a nonprofit that has a bunch of hygiene kits that we pass out all the time. So if an individual is struggling and doesn't have any of the toiletries or anything like that, we will provide the toiletries and stuff that they need. As far as supplies, we are re-looking at that right now. My sober livings here locally in Arizona, I provide more stuff than the majority of the sober livings out there. But again, with prices going up, people not paying, again, we have to adjust and pivot. So, and again, this is changing, but the supplies that we were providing is laundry pods for laundry soap, but we do the pods, laundry soap, toilet paper, paper towels, trash bags, all of the cleaning supplies. I feel like we buy more than that. Our budget per house was $200 for supplies, and then prices, then that was 3 years ago. We set that and prices just kept going up, going up, going up. So now we are adjusting to that. Again, we want individuals to be able to be self-sufficient and live on their own. And what my wife brought up a good point. She's like, what are we teaching them by providing them all of this stuff for them? If they were living on their own, they would have to supply it on their own. And I was like, well, that's a great point. Um, so we switched some things up. Paper towels, instead of paper towels, we bought a bunch of washcloths, seeing how that goes. Um, the toilet paper, I think we still might be providing the toilet paper. Laundry soap, we are still providing that. But we are going to be cutting back on supplies just because things are so expensive. And when somebody doesn't pay for something on their own, it gets abused. So, um,
Are there like
um, no, not on that part, but I mean, there's rules to, if other people need to use it, be courteous that other people use it when you get done, clean the lint thing. But there's no rules set on how many times that they can wash.
Well, and I guess it's like kind of like the question, how do you mitigate your cost on utilities? Like restrict
Oh, got some good stuff on that.
like restrict shower time, saying can't take a shower, don't leave the lights on.
5 minutes. There's other things in place, but now that we're going nationwide, we are trying to automate as much as humanly possible that we can control remotely. So, for you guys that are out there doing group homes, sober livings, the difference between $300 on your net profit could be the difference between a 10% net profit and an 18% net profit. So, $300 is a game changer. So, wherever you can save money, you got to think about it. So we are putting in measures now. The camera system really doesn't save us. Well, it does save us money because it's less people going in and out. There's less stealing going on when they're being watched. We have electronic door door key code that can be unlocked from my house, my phone. I could change the code in case somebody gets kicked out. We have a digital thermometer in every single house that is controlled by our phones. It's set. I forget what she said. I think it's 74. In the summertime, you can put your pool pumps, your lights, and all of those on smart switches, whatever they're called, and you're able to turn those off or put them on a timer to be shut off at the same time every day to save you money there. Um, you can put your freaking washer and dryer. You can put anything on these smart things. So definitely put in those safeguards. There is the trying to think, not the low income lights, but um, they use less electricity. The lights.
Yeah, low voltage.
Yeah, there's a different word. Um, there is, yeah, you can have smart lights, whatever the case is, but definitely make your house as smart as humanly possible that you can control from your home, because they will abuse your, even though we have lock boxes on every single one of our thermostats, they still jimmy a paper clip through holes and switch that thing up, man. And again, if it's not theirs, they're going to just have a heyday with it. So make things smart. Any questions, guys? We're about to get the heck on out of here. I appreciate you guys for logging in. If you guys are interested in any JV partnerships on group homes nationwide, reach out to me.
How do you ensure that residents
Have access to I don't have I don't give them access to recreational activities directly. I mean, we have, again, if we're talking about the behavioral health side of things, we have a ton of stuff. Uh, we have a gym membership that we have for them. There's a bunch of stuff that we have for them. But on the sober living side, we don't directly make them or do any of that. A few of my houses, like half of my houses, actually have weight benches in them for individuals to get their workout on.
have you thought about that? Like, or something like that? I guess I suppose they don't really have time to really go.
Oh, I thought you meant if I was providing it. No, we have no. We have a bulletin board that has local resources. There is a local CrossFit gym called Barbell Saves, and anybody can go there that's dealing with substance abuse for free. There's also another. I think they're nationwide. They're called the Phoenix, and they are a fitness sobriety group that does outings, that gets people together and they do fitness stuff together. AA meetings, all of the local job fair resources. We give them all of that stuff.
Kind of a hot question. Are you able to really have the sober living part
To, yeah.
offer
hmm
amenities?
My business coach said this, and I thought it was the smartest thing. And I was like, oh my God. He was like, he was here and I'm talking about sober livings. He was like, have you tried contacting local bars and partnering with them? And I'm like, what? Why would you what? He was like, you could probably get a sponsorship from a bar. They don't like getting like people fucked up. They want to see people do well. So it'd be cool to see if a bar would be willing to sponsor a couple of people inside of your sober living that are trying to get better. And I was like, holy shit, that is a different angle. I like it. Haven't done nothing with that. Ooh, Max. Well, we work with vocational and different job training programs and different companies that will hire our individuals. But as far as sponsorship, oh shit. I like that. I haven't thought about like going on the restaurant level, but as far as PR, we try to get like athletes, celebrities, um, musicians, government officials to back us to try to get the publicity. But I haven't thought about going that route. That'd be dope. That would be dope PR for a company. Keep that. I can't write my notes right now. Oh, Max, what's going on, brother? I miss you. Uh, hey, one last question. What marketing tactics do you recommend for homes just opening? I don't know what demographic or Kev, were you talking about sober living? I don't know. Uh, Kev, there he is. I don't know what demographic that you are talking about. Reverse engineer whatever type of housing that you're doing. If you're sober living, okay, reverse engineer it. Where do people that need sober livings, where do they come from? Where do addicts go? Where, if I have a problem with drugs, where do I go? Call those places. Detox facility, behavioral health homes, hospitals, VAs, nonprofits, uh, Facebook groups, meetings, AA meetings. Uh, go where sober people go, or go where addicts need to go to get help. Those are the places you call. uh, any more questions, y'all? We're about to bounce. I don't want to go do that. All right, guys. I'm out. Oh, my bad. I was trying to look up if I had any what am I doing? Mixer.